No moi, it is Joinen, and welcome to the things that aged like milk. That is to say, poorly. I do not recommend aging your milk. Some wines, maybe. Not all, but definitely all milk should not be aged. Just like these things. Let me show you. Shabba says, you never regret going to the gym. Hey, Pure Gym, I'm locked in one of your gyms. Rang all available numbers to be connected to voicemail, and the manager said he's going to bed. Guess who maybe regrets going to the gym? Oh yes, we have a Facebook on this day, 11 years ago. Why does Steve Jobs think that FaceTime video calling will be great? Nobody video calls. iPhone 4 fail. That's the point. FaceTime was introduced because nobody video called, and people should be video calling. That was Steve Jobs' whole shtick. He was always telling people the consumer doesn't know what they want until you give it to them. 4 years ago, the Nintendo Switch will be another failure by Nintendo. The biggest failure. I can never see it turning out for them. The Wii U was a failure because most people didn't even understand that it was a new console. They just thought it was an accessory for the Wii. I feel like every other Nintendo console, the major releases, have all been pretty successful. And the Switch, one of the most. My dad still uses the Wii. The Wii was insanely successful. The Wii U though. The New York Times, December 8, 1903. Man won't fly for 1 million years. To build a flying machine would require the combined and continuous efforts of mathematicians and mathematics for 1 million to 10 million years. There weren't enough combined and continuous efforts of mathematicians and mechanics to come up with this number. Somebody got their math wrong. Just a couple zeros there. We're about to see Japan expressing happiness about winning bid to host 2020 Olympics back in 2013. They're so happy. Look at this. Look at this guy. He's so happy. So is everyone. Everybody's ecstatic about this. They finally got it. There they go. They're gonna be hosting the Olympics. That's so sad. Poor Japan. Oh, you couldn't even begin to imagine. Could you imagine? No, you couldn't, is the answer. How much money they would have lost through this whole ordeal. They've been building stuff for years, redeveloping the entirety of Tokyo so that it is ready for this Olympics and all of the tourists that are going to be coming in, and just nothing. Just nothing. And maybe a couple of athletes sitting there ready to throw some things, run a little bit, but not yet. Ellen DeGeneres, relatable. She won't be using her daytime voice. Relatable. Oh, she's standing up on the stage like she's Steve Jobs. Just when you've got to do a comedy special at 6, but release the new iPhone at 7. Ellen DeGeneres, the most relatable person on planet Earth. She just gets me, you know? She understands what I've been through. It looks photoshopped? Well, it would be. Heavily. It's a Netflix poster banner. They mustn't marry. Hefty girls. Wanted for police force. Okay. Women with brains plus good physique are wanted. The pay and prospects are good, but they must never marry or their career will end. What? They are needed as recruits for the Metropolitan Police Force, and Sir Philip Game, Chief Commissioner, and Miss Petto, Chief of the Women's Branch, okay, are making a special appeal to spinsters and widows, girls in universities and public schools, and girls with training in nursing and social work. Married women need not apply. They must, hold on, I couldn't zoom in on this. They must be hefty. Good pay is being offered. 53s3D a week. Wait, so 53 shillings? 3 dimes? I'm just guessing. With free quarters in special hostels, but a high standard of intelligence, tact, and physique is being demanded. Would you say they must be, would you use the word hefty? The recruits must be at least 5 feet 4 inches high. They must be hefty enough to withstand a, in quotes, rough and tumble. By the way, they must also be fairly good looking. What on earth? Beauty from your bath. Oh, that's just an ad. I just love this at the very end. And they must be fairly good looking. All right. You trust me. You gotta be hefty. If you're married, you need not apply. You must be at least 5 feet and 4 inches. But you gotta be fairly good looking. This seems like the Choosing Beggars subreddit, where it's like some guy putting out his dating profile. It's like some guy on Tinder, and he's like, listen, if you're under 5 feet 4 inches, you need not apply. You must be hefty enough to withstand a rough and tumble, and you must be fairly good looking. Listen, police, you can't have everything, okay? Wanted, women for police force. Requirements, you must be the perfect woman. But not married. And you gotta be easy on the eyes. Yeah, you know that's how they would say it. And look, you gotta be easy on the eyes. How are we supposed to work with you if you're not at least fairly good looking? I don't know what accent I'm doing there. It's not any. That's the answer. Aged like milk. Yeah, if any job listing aged like milk, it's got to be that one. We got some article on how to befriend people at work. Step 2, be someone you'd want to be friends with. I like to think of this step as channeling your inner Ellen DeGeneres. After all, when was the last time you heard anyone say they hate Ellen? Answer: never. Everyone loves her because she doesn't take herself too seriously. She's funny without being snarky or mean, and she seems like a genuinely nice person. Okay, Ellen. This was written by Ellen Gang. This was written by Ellen DeGeneres. That sounded better in my head. This person just... Look, I've been given this a lot of thought. If you want to befriend people in the workplace, you literally just have to be Ellen DeGeneres. She's actually the best at befriending people in the workplace. There's so much info about it. Just look it up. Titanic Sinking. No lives lost. Oh gosh. The price of being first to the article. We got some news. We got some news that the Titanic is sinking. No one has died yet. No one's died. Print it. Print it. Battleship. We got dad here. We got son here. G4. Ah, dang it. You hit my battleship. Meanwhile, in the background, mom and daughter washing the dishes. But you know what? They got big smiles on their faces. And you know why? Because dad and brother, they're having fun. Dad and son, they're having fun. And that's what really counts. Yeah, we're sitting here doing the dishes. But look how much fun dad and son are having. We all know that's a fake smile. No. You see, they alternate every day. On Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so on. It's dad and son's job to do the dishes, while mother and daughter play Battleship. Every other day, it's their turn to do the dishes. They're just having fun. They're smiling because they're like, yeah, we got to do some dishes. It's a little bit lame, but we get to play Battleship tomorrow, just like we got to play Battleship yesterday. And boy, was it fun. Look at them. They're having so much fun. Boy, do we love Battleship. All right. We have a Bill Gates AMA on Reddit. Since becoming wealthy, what's the cheapest thing that gives you the most pleasure? Kids. Cheap cheeseburgers. Open course courses. Where are you acquiring these cheap kids from? Kids. He doesn't know. Okay? He's got so much money, he doesn't know. He's like, kids, relatively speaking, pretty cheap. Running Microsoft, that's expensive. Doing anything else that I do as Bill Gates, expensive. Kids, though, I mean, what? What are they going to cost you? Couple million in their life? Maybe less. Well, I mean, I guess he hasn't necessarily answered it wrong, because it's what's the cheapest thing that gives you the most pleasure? Kids may be the cheapest thing in his entire life. Maybe everything else he does costs more money. Sonic says, if your profile picture is from an anime, your opinion doesn't count. Well, Sonic is wrong. What's Sonic? Huh? Animated. Thank God Reddit doesn't have profile pics. 3 years ago. Says man with no profile pic. Reddit now has profile pictures. So, that post aged just like milk because it aged poorly. Because now Reddit has profile pictures. There you go. Just catching everyone up to speed in case they didn't catch that one. We have a review from May 27, 1974. Music review. I hope the 4 guys who make the group, whose names don't matter, are putting money away for the future. The near future, because Kiss won't be around long. Well, I mean, define long. In the relative scheme of things, we have a blip in the universe, just a passing moment in time. Oh, my sweet summer child. 11 years ago. Went to buy a new phone tonight and totally chickened out. Something deep down in the fiber of my being has a huge issue with spending $300 to $400 on a phone. Times were simpler. 2004 magazine predicting what the cast of Friends would look like now. Jeez, this is interesting. We've got Ross, Rachel, Joey, Phoebe, Chandler, and Monica. Now, this is funny because this aged like milk simply because every single member of the Friends cast aged like wine, which is to say they didn't. Wait, does Chandler look like that? He looks like a US president. I just think Joey looks funny. How does that happen to your chin? Like, how do you go from... They just look funnier. The more you look at them, they just get funnier and funnier. I need comparison pictures. The comparison pictures are right here. So this is what they looked like in 2004. And what's interesting is that all you need to do is look at the exact same photo, funnily enough. And that is what they look like today. Which is, I mean, to be fair, 2024, they've got a couple years still for them to turn out like this. It's what that friends money gets you. Everlasting age. You simply do not die. This computer is never obsolete. Fast, reliable internet access powered by MCI Unet. The world's richest internet content provided by... Sure. Surf, email, invest, shop, chat, travel, and more. Plus, upgrade your PC to the fastest model on the market every 2 years for only $100. Dang, that's a good deal. We got the 500 megahertz. Ooh, got that 32 meg RAM. We got that 4.3 gig hard drive. Come on. Hey, we got dedicated graphics, 4 meg of it. That is good stuff. Hey, look, it's got a USB port. You can do everything. Sold. I'd buy it. This is good stuff. All you need to do is buy this machine, sign up for this thing. That is cheat codes. That is how you get the latest PC, the latest and greatest. People who think Dream cheats in his manhunt videos. Puts it in the fire. Put the people in the fire. It's funny because Dream actually did cheat. It was accidental, but he did cheat in his manhunt videos. It was a big thing if you didn't know about it. Justification for higher education. What? Wait. You're telling me I can cash in my degree for 5 cars and a fancy house and a nuclear explosion? Justification for higher education. You be rich, dude. That's a long way to walk from your garage, though. Can I cash it in for maybe a slightly closer garage? We're upstairs as well. Walk all the way down. And why is the garage, like, shorter than all of the cars? Like, the cars don't fit in there. This is a smart car only garage. Paul Krugman, sipping a wine. He must know what he's talking about. Let's see what he says. The growth of the internet will slow drastically as the flaw in Metcalfe's law, which states that the number of potential connections in a network is proportional to the square of the number of participants becomes apparent. Most people have nothing to say to each other. By 2005 or so, it would become clear that the internet's impact on the economy has been no greater than the fax machines. Someone fax him this quote. He knows. Look at his eyes. He's like, well, I made a mistake. Reason not to pre-order Cyberpunk 2077. There's nothing there. Who made that? It's genuinely agreed upon, right? That pre-ordering games in general is often not a good idea. This person's just really wanting to die on this hill. Cyberpunk 2077, it's got to be different. It's got to be different, I'm telling you that. It's got to be worth the pre-order. Got some sort of diagram here. Hole filled with gravel. Disposing of used engine oil can be a problem. Solution. Life hacks. Back in 1963. Dig a hole in the ground with a post-hole digger and fill it with fine gravel. Then pour in the oil. It will be absorbed into the ground before your next change. Cover the spot with soil. How to dispose of your oil. Chuck it in the ground. Dig a hole, put it in, and put some dirt on it. That is the best life hack. Ooh. All right. We got some technology predictions. Let's go. 1876. The telephone has too many shortcomings to be seriously considered as a means of communication. The president of Western Union. The Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. Fooling around with AC is just a waste of time. Nobody will ever use it, says Thomas Edison. The horse is here to stay, but the automobile is only a novelty. A fad, says the president of Michigan Savings Bank, advising Henry Ford's lawyer. The wireless music box has no imaginable commercial value. Who would pay for a message sent to no one in particular? What are we talking about? Responding to the letter's call for the investment in the radio. Oh, I see. Oh, but we got more. People didn't just stop in 1921 having bad predictions. While theoretically and technically, television may be feasible, commercially and financially, it is an impossibility. There is not the slightest indication that nuclear energy will ever be obtainable. It would mean that the atom would have to be shattered at will, says Einstein. Hey, look, we can give Einstein a break. He said a few things that did make a lot of sense. A rocket will never be able to leave the Earth's atmosphere. The New York Times. Well, the New York Times doesn't say things. People in the New York Times say things. Television won't be able to hold on to any market it captures after the first 6 months. People will soon get tired of staring at a plywood box every night. Oh, Daryl, you could not be more wrong. Although, to be fair, you're a little bit right. Nobody's really staring at a plywood box anymore. Where a calculator on the ENIAC is equipped with 18,000 vacuum tubes and weighs 30 tons, computers of the future may have only 1,000 vacuum tubes and perhaps weigh 1.5 tons. Popular mechanics. What do you mean? Just people in general? That is so silly. Well, things are big at the moment. I predict things might be smaller than that big thing. I have traveled the length and breadth of this country and talked with the best people, and I can assure you that data processing is a fad that won't last out the year. The world potential market for copying machines is 5,000 at most. IBM told the eventual founders of Xerox. 5,000. Only 5,000 copying machines at most. There is practically no chance communication space satellites will be used to provide better telephone, telegraph, television, or radio services inside the United States. Well, Tam, you're wrong. There is no reason for any individual to have a computer in his home. No one will need more than 637 kilobytes of memory. That's very specific. 640 kilobytes ought to be enough for anybody, said Bill Gates. Surely this is out of context. Like, surely that bit is taken out of context. Cellular phones will absolutely not replace local wire systems. Yeah, okay. I mean, just insert thing that is not big at the moment that will be big in the future is not gonna be big in the future. Rest of video. Come and follow me on Twitch. We film these live every single weekday or just about. And get some of the sweet lemon cotton merch or the Nog Thug merch. I don't mind. I will allow you to get either. And I will see you tomorrow.